Hey, it's Fear. I just want to let you know the episode of FEARCast you're about to listen to is from season 1, so it's old and the material might not be relevant. The conversation's still good, but the band may or may not be still together. The person making movies might not be doing it anymore. But just in case, I wanted to put it out there so you guys can check it out. And also Google the bands, see if anybody's still around. And if you hear music you like, there you go. Also, check out any of the movies mentioned, because movies are always still around. Well, I guess, unless they pull them away. Anyway, it's an older episode, but a good episode, so I wanted to put it out. Stay tuned, nftfyb.com for everything new. And I hope you come back and enjoy season 2. We're getting some new guests and getting this thing going. So check out the other podcasts, Talk Life Pod, A and Way, and of course, FEARcast. So run along, kiddies. Are you ready? What up, everybody? It's Fear here. Just wanted to touch base before I sit down and chat with Zack Ward. This is going to be awesome. We tried to hook up last year and just timing and stuff, we couldn't get it. So it was good to come out. We talk about a lot of stuff, his career and his new movie, Bethany, which you should check out. We've also got the review of that on the site. But before we get FEARcasting it up, I just wanted to let everybody know that we're looking to see you guys this weekend at Calgary HorrorCon 7. So that's June 10th and 11th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily at the Clarion Hotel, 2120 16 Ave, Northeast Calgary. You can still get tickets over at horror-con.ca, which links will be in the description of this on the website, FYFCstudios.com. So you can go get some tickets. We'd love to meet the local fans. And so me and Razor from FIFCast, we're going to be running around trying to get into trouble. We'll be doing some filming, taking some pictures, and we'll have some swag. So stop on by and we'll hook you up with some stickers and whatever else we have. But yeah, man, like I said, that's June 10th and 11th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily at the Clarion Hotel, 2120 16 Ave, Northeast Calgary. Tickets are still on sale, and on Sunday from noon to 1, I will be moderating the John Kassir. That's right, the motherfucking Crypt Keeper. I will be moderating his panel, so make sure you come see that, and then stop by and we'll hang out. Are you ready? And welcome to FEARcast, everybody. I'm your host, Fear Innes. How the hell are you? Fuck a case of the Mondays. You got a case of FEARcast, baby. Get it in you. Now, tonight, I have the absolute pleasure to sit down with the one, the only, the legend, Zack Ward. How you doing, man?
Hey, thank you very much for the introduction. I thought I was going to be stepping into the ring with that much accolades. I'm doing great, man. I'm doing fantastic. It's Friday night. I'm going to go out with my girl, have some Korean barbecue, and then take an Uber home. How about yourself? What are your plans for the evening?
Oh, well, unfortunately, I work up in the Alberta oil sands.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm up at work. So after this, I'm going to go to bed and then do it all again tomorrow.
So you're a knucklehead. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I saw that you were born in Canada?
Yeah. I always consider myself Canadian. Which is funny considering that A Christmas Story has become like the Americana movie, and I'm from Toronto.
Yeah, exactly. So to lead in, I mean, you don't necessarily need an introduction, but maybe tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about A Christmas Story.
Well, hi, everybody out in the internet world. First word of advice, if you're looking at something or watching a podcast, listening to a podcast, and you've got the Google right in front of you, just Google me, because it'll make your life so much easier, and eventually you go, oh, he's that fucking guy. So that makes it super easy. But to put a face to the voice, Scott Farkas from A Christmas Story, Dave Titus from the TV show Titus, Nikolai Genova from Resident Evil Apocalypse, Sergeant Donnelly from Transformers, and many, many more. So over the last 37 years of acting and wacky hijinks, I guarantee you see my ginger blood nut on the television more than once. And you'll look at me and go, oh, yeah, I remember him. He was in that episode of that thing I saw. And then he died. Because that's typically what happens to me is people like to kill me. I think it actually stems, like, seriously, I'm like, what's his face? The guy who played Boromir, who dies in everything as well.
Oh, Sean Bean.
Yeah. So I'm like the Canadian Sean Bean. So that's me. That's me in a bucket.
And so, yeah, jumping on the Scott Farkas bandwagon. So when you did that, did you know that it was going to end up being something that 34 years later people still watch?
No, I mean, I always love that question. And when I want to be, by the way, is this a podcast where we swear or we speak like our mothers are listening?
No, fuck that shit. Let her fly, man.
There you go. Okay. Let your freak flag fly. No, it's one of those questions that, you know, I guess it's not a stupid question because the way people perceive it is that it's a big movie. But the fact of the matter is it's not a big movie. It's a little movie. The film was done for $4 million, and that's not a lot of money nowadays. And it wasn't tiny back then, but it wasn't huge. And nobody could foresee how all this came to be. And the fact is, like, A Christmas Story is now registered with the Library of Congress as one of the most important films from the last century. Wow. Which is, yeah, right. Like, that's a thing, man. That's a bananas thing to be part of. The way it all evolved was, it was such a wacky, perfect storm of events that occurred. Because, you know, the movie came out, it didn't do very well. Then it got kicked out of theaters, and then it was re-released the following year. Didn't do huge. Leonard Maltin retracted his initial review, apologizing, saying that he thought it was one of the best films he'd ever seen because the first time he panned it. And then it kind of languished. It didn't go anywhere. And then, you know, like the way they used to do it, this is 1983, dude. So it came out on VHS. And as people started collecting the film and passing it around, because back then your library of films was something you were proud of, you know, like that existed up until 5 years ago when everything went digital and you don't buy DVDs really anymore. So people started passing it around. And then what happened was that MGM went bankrupt. They lost a lot of money. And so they sold off their film library. And Turner Network, they bought it. They bought up the library. And this is actually the exact same thing that happened to It's a Wonderful Life. You know the movie, the Franz Kafka film? Okay, so what happened to It's a Wonderful Life is the copyright fell out. So it wasn't renewed, and it was free. So you could show it, and it wouldn't cost you any money to air the film. You wouldn't have to pay any cash. So that's why everybody started airing that movie around Christmas, because nobody was watching television, but they wanted to keep, they had to have something coming out on the channel. It's part of the rules and regulations for broadcasting, I believe. So they play It's a Wonderful Life. So A Christmas Story, when Turner Network purchased the MGM library, it was part of the package, and it wasn't a big movie, and nobody really cared. And then they started playing it around Christmas because they owned the rights. They'd run a 24-hour marathon of it because who cared? Nobody was watching television. Mm-hmm. So they had just a dog meat of advertisers on at that time. So they're like, nah, fuck it. And then it just built, and it built, and it built, and it built. And I think it was really a fan-generated opportunity. You know, and it slowly grew over my life where, like, out of 10 people, one person knew the movie. And then 3 years later, out of 10 people, 3 people knew the film. And slowly. And it wasn't until its 20th anniversary where it hit its tipping point, and people there'd be maybe one guy who hadn't seen it. And if that one person made the huge mistake of admitting that, everybody else would be like, what? You haven't seen the movie? What are you, Nazi? Like, yeah, it was just bizarre. Yeah, it just, you know, it grew to become something. And the weirdest thing is, like, more people watch the 8 o'clock screening of A Christmas Story on Christmas than watch the Super Bowl.
Damn.
Which is fucking nuts. And then
crazy.
they're still, right? And you can get the movie on Netflix, but not for streaming. You have to have a DVD sent to your house. And I don't know why that is. It's weird, but they also have this thing like people still buy the movie every year and give it to each other as a present. Oh, it's a Christmas story. Oh, the kids. Yeah. Remember when we were boys? Like it's always that type of conversation, and it's a crazy thing to be part of, man. You know, we never had an idea. Bob Clark never had an idea. The director, nobody could have foreseen this. It's lightning in a bottle, dude. You know, it's to be part of something like that is amazing.
So did you find, and this might be totally fucking random, but did you find being like the bad guy that after that film you were kind of being typecast a little bit, or did nothing happen?
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing is when it came out, like I said, nobody cared. And I was in Toronto, Canada. And as you know, with Canadians, we kind of eat our own young when it comes to any sort of celebrity stardom type of thing.
Yeah.
We're like, fuck that guy. He shouldn't do weller than me. Yeah. I can't have him having any sort of success here. He needs to go. I mean, that literally is what happened.
Get him out of here, eh? Get him out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Who does he think he is? Working hard, trying to get a job, you little prick. So you know, nobody cared in Canada, and nobody cared in Toronto when it came out. I literally took a girl to go see it on a date, and a French Canadian girl, so super hot. And afterwards, like, so what do you think of the movie? She's like, I don't like this so much. Bye bye. I walked away. So, yeah, talking about kicking the dick. I think later on in life, definitely there have been times where I've gotten hired for projects. And literally, I was doing an episode of CSI. I've done every CSI there is, so guest starring in the shows. And I went up to one of them, like, I call it the douchebag du jour, because it's like the soup of the week, and this is the douchebag of the week.
Yeah.
And it's that guy who does the dicky thing, and then the cops start to chase him, and then he's like, "You'll never catch me," and then they catch him, and he says, "But I'll never speak," and then he speaks. Yeah. So it's such a stupid, but you know, every series has to have that douchebag for the week. And I remember getting one of them, like, it was so generic. It could have been a fucking hand puppet, you know? And I said to the director, I was like, "There's a question for you. I mean, I appreciate the job. That's awesome. Fantastic. But in all seriousness, I mean, there's nothing about this role that anybody else couldn't have done. Like, there's nothing in it for me to do." Yeah. Right? Like, I'm not being a shitty actor. You know, they say that there are no small roles, just small actors. There are no small parts, just small actors. Well, that's horse shit. Yeah. Because the fact of the matter is, when there's a waiter bringing you your soup who doesn't have a line, his job is not to steal focus from the star of the fucking movie who's making $20 million. The director and the producers are not going to be like, let's re-edit that to make sure that it's all about that waiter. He just had something. It was an energy, see? That kid's got moxie. No, there are lots of small parts.
Done it again and do one more time. Just one more take. This time,
one more time. Put the soup down. Oh my God, that was gorgeous. Look at the soup pudding downing. No, that doesn't fucking happen. So I guarantee you, my friend, there are small roles that could be done by a retarded dog, as long as you put words in his mouth. So I turned to this woman, that was the director, and I was like, "Hey, not for nothing, thanks for the role, but why?" Like, because anybody could have done. What was the secret sauce? She goes, "Seriously, I just wanted to work with the kid from Christmas Story." Like, bingo, there it is. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I've had that a bunch of times. So it's definitely helped. But the funny thing is, too, I think it also. Well, I don't know, man. I was going to say, I think it sort of tinges the experiences I have as an actor. But, I mean, if you look at my face, I've got kind of an asshole face. Like, I've got the slanty eyes and the hard jaw, and I look like I might, like, punch your kid or something. I don't look like the big blue-eyed sweet guy who's like, gosh, shucks, in the office staring, cow-eyed at the girl away from me. I look like I'm going to rape her in the bathroom, and I get that.
You're the guy behind the ficus plant staring at him.
Nice reference on the ficus. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Well, that's awesome, man. And then, you touched upon a couple other things that been in a ton of things, just like you said. You were fucking hilarious in Titus. That was one of those ones.
Thank you, but the whole show is hilarious. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
I thank you for the compliment, but the reality is the writing was fucking brilliant. The cast was perfect. We got along fantastically. The directing was wonderful. I'm not saying this to suck someone's dick over a podcast, but Jack Kenny, Brian Hargrove, and Chris Titus were at the top of their game writing that show. They were the executive producers, and we had a bunch of other writers on there who were amazing. So it was my fucking Camelot. That was my shining moment where everything was working, and then life kicked me in the nutsack. But yeah, that was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was one of those shows. It wasn't on long enough. I think it was ahead of its time. Just with, like you said, the writing, the way that it was set up, where he would do these little bits in between. Honestly, it's a great fucking show.
It really is. It's a fantastic show. And the thing is, you'll never see it anywhere else except for DVD, because the network hates Chris Titus personally. Like on a personal level of hate, that they will never release the show onto Netflix or Hulu or something like that, just out of spite.
Oh man.
Seriously, dude, to get all the DVDs now, like all the 3 seasons, we did 54 episodes, 3 seasons. It costs close to $1,000 fucking dollars, bro.
Jeez.
That's insane. That's fucking insane.
Oh, that's bananas.
If anybody out there has them, please upload them onto the interwebs and send them out. I guess you have to flip it or reverse it or whatever, and share it with the world, because that shit was hilarious.
It was. No, it was super, super funny. Yeah, for sure. So if you haven't seen it, try to find it, try to do yourself the justice. And then there was a couple other little spots that I didn't even fucking recognize you in. Almost Famous.
Yeah, Red Dog. That was fun, right?
Yeah, like I was just looking through some shit before we got going here, and I was like, no, fuck, I love that movie. And you just blended right in. I didn't even know that was you.
Well, thank you. A lot of my stuff ended up on the cutting room floor as well, so that kind of helps. But yeah, that was cool. Got to work with Cam and Crow. That was awesome. Kate Hudson, smoking hot.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Yeah.
She was wearing these. I remember she's wearing these cotton sort of yoga pants. And you may or may not know this, but she has an amazing booty. And she showed up wearing these sort of transparent white cotton pants with a black thong underneath.
Oh,
and I was like, doinks. Yeah, she was smoking hot.
I'm just going to stare at her all day. Is that okay? Is that weird?
Is that all right? May I stare at your bottom? Is that okay?
And then you were in Transformers, another one that they definitely killed you off pretty good. But there was a funny part where you talk about a perfect day, and I was just curious if that is your perfect day, or what would be your perfect day.
Oh fuck no! I mean, I'll be honest with you. I went to 8 different schools before junior high, and my dad was a draft dodger, so he moved back to California when I was like 4 years old. I didn't play any team sports. There was no one to take me. No, I'm not trying to make a sad song about it, but I just never cared. So I could give a shit about baseball. No offense to anybody out there, but I don't care.
You heard it here, man. Fuck baseball.
Yeah. No, not fuck baseball. I just don't want to go watch it. And the funny thing is I did a TV show about baseball called In the Zone, where I went to every single stadium around the country. It was a show for Saturday morning to lead from the cartoons into baseball, and it was for kids, teenagers, right? And I got to go inside the Green Monster at Fenway Park, Fenway Park, and all these things. People were like, that's amazing. I got to throw out the first pitch of the season, and all the stuff. I was like, yeah, great, it's a ball. I mean, it's awesome. I'm honored to be here, but I don't have that innate passion for any of it, to be honest, which is weird, but. Yeah, what you gonna do? No, that line was perfect day. What was it? A cold hot dog and a flat beer.
Yeah.
Which is funny. It was originally a cold beer and a hot dog, and it was Josh Duhamel, who we were in the Osprey, and we were running our lines, and he was like, "Hey, I think you should flip that." I was like, "What do you mean?" Like it would stand out more if it was like this, and he's the one who pitched that line. I was like, that's really good.
Nice.
So I pitched it to Michael Bay, and he was like, yeah, I don't care. I was like, okay, great.
I'm gonna make shit explode. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. Oh wait, you have words? Wait, there are actors in this. Yes, that's interesting to me.
Yeah, one of these fleshy things is talking to me again. Get him out of here.
Yeah. The fleshy thing with hair has a mouth that's gaping. Somebody tape it, just staple it closed. I think my perfect day, I can tell you, I remember having this moment when we got picked up on Titus for season 3. And I got the phone call, and I didn't know if it was going to happen. And it was great. It was like everything in life was working. It was, you get the phone call saying you got 22 more episodes. You got picked up for another season. Fuck yes. And I mean, I was like, woo! And I was just on cloud fucking 9, man. It was the best because you had that ahead of you, and you had that opportunity and the money. And I mean, the money was amazing. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the money. Well, my ex-wife did, just because it all went to her. Yeah. Prenup. Get a prenup. Yeah, that was that moment where there was nothing but opportunity in the future, and everything was going my way. That was beautiful. And that sitting in that moment where it's like, yeah, all things are possible. You just have to reach out and do it, man. And my God, that's a long ass fucking time ago.
No, and that's pretty cool, man, because like you said, you've done a ton since then. And I personally really kind of fell in love with you in Freddy versus Jason.
Really? Thanks.
Yeah, and it was just enough that it was amazing, and it also sparked this huge conversation between me and a bunch of my friends about if anybody was going to take over the glove, we would love to have seen Zack Ward do it.
Yeah. Thank you. I've heard that conversation on the interweb, and there was a bit of heat around that for a second or two, and then that died away. But it was a huge honor. I mean, the thing is, Robert Englund and I kind of have very similar facial structures. So like the English nose and the high cheekbones and the slanty eyes. Yeah, I would have loved to have done it. And I seriously love playing bad guys, especially ones that enjoy being bad, because it's just a free pass.
Yeah, just immerse yourself in the character and go with it.
Just be a dick for a living? Wow, that's awesome.
Get paid to be a dick.
What? That's a job you can do? Sign me up.
Exactly. Yeah, I initially here and I get to be an asshole? Perfect.
Yeah. So thank you. I really enjoyed doing that part. Although for those people who don't know, I play Bobby Davis, one of the lead's older brothers. And he sees me in a nightmare dream sequence, obviously induced by Freddy Krueger, because his older brother had committed suicide to get away from the nightmares that Freddy was causing. So he's in the bathroom, turns around, there's a bathtub full of blood, and I poke my ginger head out of it. And the joy of soaking in a bathtub filled with fake blood is that my ass was hot pink for like a week. I looked ridiculous. Oh yeah. I looked sunburned and silly. It was awesome sauce.
People are like, do gingers all look like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's in their blood, I hear. Cool, man. Well, let's move into the future, the piece de resistance to what we're going to be talking about, and that's Bethany. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it twice now.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? It's fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I dug it, and then the second time I watched it, I think I liked it even better.
Sweet. You can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, and it was kind of surprised because going into it, we had another fellow Canadian of Tom Green in it.
Yes, yeah.
And I wasn't sure how he was going to go with the character. And I think he killed it, actually.
Oh, fantastic. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that.
So this was one that you wrote and starred in.
This is one that I produced, wrote, and starred in. Yeah,
that's fantastic. So there's been a couple movies that you've done with James Bressick.
Cullen Bressick, yeah. So we did 2 films together. I produced both of them. We wrote both of them, and I directed the first one, and he directed the second one. The first one's called Restoration. It's on, it's on Hulu. It's on iTunes. Well, both Bethany and Restoration are on iTunes and Amazon streaming. Restoration is at Redbox, Hulu, iTunes, Amazon streaming, blah, blah, blue, blue. I think it's in Walmart as well. And that's the first one that I directed, my first feature film that I directed. And then we did this one. We did them back to back. So we used the same crew, some of the same locations. And obviously I was in both films. So yeah, those are the 2 that I did with James. And quite the experience, quite the uphill learning curve, but I think it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. And like I watched an interview where you were talking about kind of how things were back in the day versus how you can kind of take hold of your future in this day and age. And I think it was from a few years ago where you talked about how you can write and star and all your, and then fast forward and you did. And I was like, holy shit. He said you could do it. He did it.
Well, I'll be honest with you. That's kind of how my entire career started. Was my mom's an actress. Her name is Pam Hyatt. She's been a Canadian actress since like the 60s, early 60s. And I remember watching a play when I was a kid and expecting this really funny line to come out of this actor's mouth because my mom had explained stuff to me, and I was like 8 years old and I was excited about it. And then he said it and it didn't land. And I remember thinking, man, this guy sucks. I could do better than that. And that was kind of the impetus to start acting, realizing that it wasn't the insurmountable task that I thought it was because I got to see the process. So just start doing. And same thing with writing, and same thing with directing, and same thing with producing. I mean, obviously there's knowledge out there that you can acquire through the internet or being mentored by somebody else. But really the biggest step, biggest hurdle you have to overcome is yourself and your own apathy, or what's the word I'm looking for? Lethargy. Just get off your ass and start doing something, and then keep on pushing that ball up the hill.
All you can do is do it, right? So, I mean, no one's going to do it for you. So you got to get out there and get that working.
So, let's see. Tom Green was awesome and fun to work with. And since you've seen the film twice, you know, there's a big dialogue scene between him and I where we discuss his Canadianism.
Yeah.
And I wrote that into the script on purpose after meeting with Tom, because he has such a thick Canadian accent that I didn't want it to stand out like a sore thumb and just be odd. I wanted it to be addressed. So wrote that whole Canadian thing. I personally thought it was hilarious, and I thought he did a really good job.
No, I totally agree. And it was really well done to the point where it was like not over the top funny, but it landed really well.
Cool. I'm glad you think so, man.
Well, and like on this side, like me and Jeremy, the gentleman who set all this up, who's also a big fan, he wanted to be on the show, but unfortunately scheduling conflict, we couldn't get him on. But he said the same thing. It was a great nod to Canada, and also, like you said, to kind of throw it out there so it wasn't sort of this strange situation.
Yeah. It was fun to do. I mean, it kind of reminded me, I don't know if you're old enough, but back in the 80s, when Jean-Claude Van Damme and Arnold Schwarzenegger were tearing it up on screen, they had these really super thick, well, they still do, accents.
Yeah.
And so it would be like, well, if Arnold Schwarzenegger is playing like the chief of police at a small town, eventually there's going to be a piece of dialogue. Well, they brought that new sheriff in from Austria. He's an exchange sheriff or something like that. Yeah. So everyone goes, oh, that's why he talks like he got marbles in his mouth and like he's a Hitler Youth. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. So that was my whole idea with Tom too. It's like, homage to the 80s films of, hey, why do you talk weird, mister? And he did great. The guy was an absolute pleasure on set. He was very sweet. He was very kind, no attitude, very Canadian about it.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that, or we'd have to ship him out like we did you.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't act right. Get him out. Get him out of here.
He's got to go. He's got to go. That guy's not a good shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yep.
We can't have that around here.
No.
It was funny. There was a couple of scenes that actually were sort of, and it's funny because it wasn't like your typical cringeworthy. The part where you're eating the cereal and just the close-ups on your mouth. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of disturbing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, like, this is an indie feature film. So that means, like, you know, it doesn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you're shooting a movie in a very short period of time and for very little cash, and you're trying to make things work as best you can. And you're standing in front of an entire crew while you eat cereal, like you've got brain damage, and you do it, and you hope you don't end up looking like an absolute jackass. But hopefully it worked.
It worked for me. Like, I was watching it, and I was like, this is actually probably one of the most disturbing parts of the film is just watching Zack eat.
Yeah, and really, that's just how I eat all the time.
Yeah,
just so you know,
yeah.
I eat with my mouth open out of a big bowl. Cereal, good. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I meant. You just walk over and just start eating in front of other people, and they're like, holy fuck, this is actually how he eats.
Yeah. Like a tuxedo on, and everybody expects something elegant, and I just nom.
Thanks for inviting me.
I kind of expect that's how that's probably how Trump eats, but I don't know.
Nah, I would assume so.
Yeah.
With his tiny hands.
With his tiny little fingers.
Yeah. Whoa, shots fired at that Oompa Loompa. Hey guys, I'm just breaking in here because I'm going to play the song of the week. And me and Zack are about to get kind of deep into some politics and some actually more serious stuff. So I wanted to jump in real quick. The song that I'm going to play this week, we kind of talked about this on FIFCast, but I figure FEARCast has kind of a different following, so you guys may have not listened to that episode. And so I figured, I mean, we do a lot for music. We talk a lot about music on FEARCast, and it wouldn't be right if I didn't talk a little bit about Chris Cornell. Now, everybody, I'm sure, knows by now, Chris Cornell was the lead singer of Soundgarden. He was in Audioslave, Temple of the Dog. Like, he was amazing singer and amazing guitarist, and actually a fucking phenomenal writer. And he ended up taking his own life, and I think it's been a couple of weeks by now, and it's still kind of unsure exactly, kind of like they know what happened, but they don't know what happened, because the only person that would ever know what was going through his mind is Chris. And it's unfortunate. Like we said on FIFCast a little bit, he was one of those dudes that he made it out of the 90s where a lot of guys didn't. And I think that's why I decided to talk about it a little bit now, because the other day I had like my phone playing. I play music at work a lot just to pass the time. And there was like 8 songs in a row where the lead singer's dead. And I just sat there and I'm like, holy fuck, like so many bands that I love still to this day, still listen to, still love. The singer is gone. And I've always said that the best music ever done was in the 90s, and it'll always be that way for me. I just feel like the grunge rock movement that we had in the 90s, like everybody could play, and it didn't matter what they were saying. Like people were allowed to be emotional, and they were allowed to talk about their downfalls that they were going through, whether it be addiction or so many other things, which unfortunately also took the lives of many of them. And we joked around on FIFCast that Eddie Vedder's the only one that's kind of left, but truly it is pretty fucking sad. And it's, I don't know. It really sucks. And so they did a tribute to him, because I believe they were supposed to play Rock on the Range And after his passing, so Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Stone Sour did a tribute where he played "Wish You Were Here," which Pink Floyd, and then he did "Hunger Strike," and he did a fabulous job on both. But it reminded me of a live video that I saw of him doing, and it was him and Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm. They did a cover for the Alternative Press, and it worked really well because Corey could do Vedder's part and Lizzie could do Cornell's, because that dude had, like, they called him Iron Lungs, man. Like, he was phenomenal. And, like, you're not going to find people that sing like that anymore. I'm sure there are, but it's not as big as it used to be and whatever. But so anyway, so that's what I've decided to play for the song of the week. The song of the week is going to be the cover from Temple of the Dog, Hunger Strike, from Lizzie Hale and Hailstorm, and Corey Taylor for the Alternative Press Music Awards. And this is back in 2015. So I feel like it's only fitting to play this version, and not the one that Corey just did, just because how good Lizzie hits Cornell's parts. So we'll listen in.
Feeling good. This is our very first AP Awards. Very first time. Thank you so much for welcoming us with open arms. We're meeting a lot of new friends today. We're going to do something a little special. I'd like to bring up a very special friend of mine. He's not imaginary, he's real. Mr. Corey Taylor to the stage. I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence. I can feed on the powerless when my cup's already overfilled. And it's on the table, the fire's cooking, and the farm and babies while slaves are all working. Blood is on the table, the mouths are choking. I'm going hungry. Yeah.
I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence. I can't feed on the powerless when my cup's already overfilled. But it's on the table, the fire's cooking, and the farmer baby, the slaves are working. Blood is on the table, the fires are choking, but I'm going hungry.
I'm going hungry, yeah.
I'm going hungry.
I'm going hungry, yeah.
I'm going hungry.
I'm going hungry, yeah.
I'm going hungry.
I'm going hungry, yeah. stealing bread.
I don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind stealing bread. Oh, I'm going hungry. Yeah, I'm going hungry. Thank you so much, everybody. Mr. Corey Taylor.
Give it up for Hailstorm, my friends.
So I don't know. I thought that was a really fitting tribute, even if it was 2 years ago. They crushed it, and yeah, it sucks. I'm gonna go out on a song too, so make sure you listen to the end of the podcast. But in the meantime, let's jump back. Just a quick rest in peace, Chris. Hopefully you are. Back to the show, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, did you see that thing? Okay, so you saw that Kathy Griffin did that picture where she held up his a head that was supposed to be his, and then the internet went. Do you see that crap?
Yeah, they're just losing their minds right now.
Oh my God! What fucking weak sauce is that, dude? It's obviously not the guy's fucking head.
Yeah.
And the thing that bothers me is my younger brother is in the Navy. He does some stuff that I can't really talk about.
Yeah.
And Trump had already approved a mission in the beginning of his presidency that got a guy fucking killed.
Damn.
Okay. One of the military. So he makes decisions that are bad and they kill people. Yet a picture is so upsetting. Like, fucking grow up. And I think the thing that disappoints me the most is that Kathy Griffin, I understand why the network had to fire her because they're caught in the middle. They have to appease both the Democrats and the Republicans and the far right wing and the far left wing. And I get all that. I get the politics of it. But the fact that she just folded like a lawn chair and pussied out is like, dude, it's a fake severed head. Who cares? The guy is single-handedly making the country a fucking joke. Okay. But he can't take one?
Yeah.
Please.
Well,
please.
You know, man, I totally I hate the like pussification of North America that we are going through, where comedians aren't allowed to. The whole fucking point in being a comedian is to be able to push the line, to be a reflection of what's going on, to be able to say the shit that other people can't say. And over the last at least 5-10 years, it's got absolutely fucking ridiculous. Every time I see a comedian apologize, a part of my fucking soul dies.
Yeah, that's what I like about Bill Burr. On occasion, he'll just rip people's asses, and he just won't apologize for it. And, you know, I do find it funny because when Obama was president, the Republicans fucked Congress, fucked the Senate, just wasted all this time in just bullshit. And everything he did, they would mock and belittle. And he was it a Yale or Harvard grad orator? And he had a law degree in the fucking Constitution. I mean, this guy was intelligent. Whether you like him or not, he could speak. Now, I think that he should have done more than he did, but he did what he could. And you're carrying the burden from the previous president and from the president before you. All this shit. I get it. But people would rip his ass all the time. Call him like he's a terrorist. He's lying about where he was born, the birther movement, all this stuff. And so this fat, pussy-grabbing, misogynistic douchebag can't take a fucking joke. I never understood the whole thing where he's like, I'm from, blue-collar America. What? How? His daddy gave him so much fucking money. The guy's never done a day's work in his life. It baffles me. And I get it that it was a vote against Hillary. And I'm not a far left leaning Democrat liberal either. I've got problems with some of their gun laws. I'll say one of them now. they have this, their attitude towards guns is make everything gun violence. This person was shot, blah, blah, blah. Well, we have a lot of car deaths, car-related auto accidents every year, and some of them are on purpose and some of them are by accident, but we don't go, another car-related death. We don't demonize the car. We demonize the person if they're a fucking idiot.
Right.
So, and, they're more, I'm from Canada. I don't have any guns, and I didn't grow up on a farm where I needed to go hunting or whatever. And so there was never a reason for me to have that thing. But I've spent a lot of time training for the movies that I've done. And I've trained with Delta, and I've trained with Navy SEALs, and I've trained with Marshals and Spasnauts, the Russian version of the Navy SEALs. And I like guns. I don't have any in my fucking house because honestly, it's not a tool I'd get to use every day. I'd be like, hey, check out the gun. Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's go to dinner. Or just sit there.
Yeah.
But there are more guns in the United States than there are people. And if really there was that much batshit craziness going on a daily basis, then it would be the Wild West.
Yeah.
And the reality is all these draconian gun rules and regulations only affect the people who are willing to abide by them. They don't affect the people who aren't going to listen to you anyways.
Yeah.
And those are the people who do wacky shit. And then the flip side are the ones who are bipolar and need to be on antipsychotics. And like whether like that kid, like the guy down in Orlando who went on the shooting spree, shot up in the club. It was a fucking tragedy. But the reality is he was a security guard born in Queens or Bronx. Someone Google my information because I know I'm off somewhere. But he had been issued a weapon, had qualified for all of it. So what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
He's one lone batshit bastard. Okay. And he was a closeted homosexual who couldn't deal with his own urges because his belief system made him feel like he should hate himself. So at the last second, he's like, ISIS, yay. Meanwhile, we find out later on that he was actually trying to pick up men previously. So it was all hypocrisy. Fine. The kid who stole his mother's gun. Well, how do you demonize a weapon? Like that would be like if someone stole my car and drove it through a crowd of children. Yes, the children are still dead, and that is a fucking horrifying tragedy. But do you then change the rules to cars? Like, I believe you should have a license. You should have to pass some type of test to have a weapon or a car, because otherwise, why the fuck should you have it? I have a motorcycle and a car, and I have to be able to prove that I can use them both properly according to the rules and regulations of the state and the country that I'm in. Fine. I'm completely comfortable with that. I'm completely comfortable if that's how the gun laws work. But to go bananas batshit on everyone, it's the same type of fear mongering that the Republicans do, but just the other side. And I hope one day we get all religion out of politics, because it's supposed to be a separation between church and state for a fucking reason. And they shouldn't be muddled. And you shouldn't have someone like Pence talking about his religious beliefs, not when he's running for an office. It should be about logic, Socratic methodology, and what's right for the people, not right for their pockets. Yeah. So anyways, I'll get off my pulpit and we'll talk about movies again. Yay, Bethany. So I'm glad you like Bethany.
No. And just before we ditch out of there. No, I honestly, I completely agree with a ton of what you're saying. Like, I don't know what they can do in reference to the mental illness or whatever goes along with it once these people are able to obtain the weapon. I don't know. I don't know what the next step would be. Exactly. It's a tricky question, because what would they be able to, I believe it would be unconstitutional, according to the Constitution, to mandate that someone takes their drugs to keep them from going fucking bananas. Yeah.
But we see the results of what happens if they don't. So then you start, and it's a slippery slope. Once you take away one person's rights, then it's much easier to take away other people's rights. And I understand that. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's far more fucking complex than than the politicians talk about, and they like to simplify it so that they can point at someone and call them the bad guy, where it's not that simple.
Well, yeah, everything's an angle, right? They all use it to their advantage. Nowadays, news isn't even news. They come out, whoever can get out that story the fastest. It doesn't matter if it's right. It just has to be breaking news and get everybody all worked up. And then over the next 3 days, they'll explain what actually happened. But with mental illness and taking your meds and stuff, like we had the case up here where the guy that was driving, he was on the Greyhound bus, and he cut that dude's head off, and he was eating pieces and all that kind of stuff. And they put him in the loony bin, and now he's out. He says he's going to take his meds and he's good, and he's free somewhere near Winnipeg. And that's it. That's all we know. He doesn't have to.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. He doesn't have to check in with anybody. He just swears he's going to take his meds. This dude fucking cannibalized somebody in front of a bunch of people. And like,
dude,
it's, I don't know, man. Fuck, the world is, it's way scarier than any of the movies you've been in.
You know what somebody should invent? They should invent a wearable technology, whether it's a tattoo, because they have these now with the microcircuitry flexible, that if it could check the levels of the pharmaceutical, I guess, in your bloodstream in your body, and then when you're depleted, send out some sort of a warning to your phone that would then also tell the people who are supposed to be watching you that you're not on it. I mean, if we could have something like that, it would definitely make us feel safer around people who go batshit bananas.
Well,
but that's crazy, dude.
Well, and like all these people that they're good, they'll take their meds until the one day they don't, and then shit happens again.
Right.
And I think Apple's working on some sort of thing for their watch where it can read if you've taken your meds or fuck, I don't know where.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I read that somewhere. I don't know. So they're doing all this kind of health stuff, which is actually kind of really neat. With their watches and shit. So who knows? Maybe
nice.
One day we'll get to that and everybody can feel a little bit safer. I don't know.
That would be fantastic. But I just wish that I wish the politicians would have a conversation about these things in the public eye the way we're having one. Maybe with a lot more education than we have. No offense to either of us, but we are not fonts of knowledge on these details. But it would be great if people would actually address it like something that needs to be solved, as opposed to a pulpit to preach from. Meanwhile, taking care of lobbyist dollars and so forth and so on.
No, you're totally right, man. And that is, I don't think it'll ever happen because unfortunately everybody loves money and whatnot, but it would be fantastic if everybody could sit down and actually just be humans, not worry about the agenda, not worry about who's paying who, and like, just, solve some shit, man. Take a fucking break, solve some actual shit that needs to be solved, and then, I don't know, whatever, go back to fucking hating each other.
Yeah, exactly. That would be fantastic.
Who knows?
That would be wonderful.
Who knows?
Yeah.
The next couple of years are going to be really fucking interesting. So,
yeah.
But yeah, and like you mentioned before with the whole comic thing, I know Kathy has
Griffin. Yeah,
she's got her shit all fucked up, and there's been a couple of people who have come out and tried to stick up for her, but I hate it, man. And like you said, I'm glad there's comics out there like Bill Burr or like Louis C.K. that are willing to just say their piece. And I don't know. It's too bad that more comics can't. That's kind of been point.
Did you see that thing that Louis C.K. did on Saturday Night Live? And it's a while ago, and he did this thing about pedophiles. And he was like, okay, this is going to be a hard one, people, but here's the question. It's got to be pretty good if they're willing to risk their entire lives for this thing. And he got through the piece, and it was brutally uncomfortable, but hilarious at the same time. Yeah. And yet the world didn't stop.
Right.
Nobody ran out and started raping children.
Yeah. He might be right. He might be right. I'm going to fuck a kid today.
It's absolutely ridiculous. So just to give you a little update, so I'm in my backyard right now in case the audience is wondering what those sounds were. They were crows. Yeah. And there is a little family of feral kittens in the back of my yard. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4 kittens the size of two hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them, and a mom. So we're feeding them, trying to see if we can then, if we can actually capture them and then get the mom spayed and the kitten and taken care of, and the kitten taken care of, because she keeps on having kittens all the time. But it's pretty cute.
She's a whore.
Yeah. Yes, that cat is a tiny little kitty prostitute.
Yo, you hooking the street again, girl? What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. You work in my corner?
She's gangster. That's awesome.
So back to Bethany. We've now covered and solved all the world's problems.
Yeah, done. Count that off the list. We can go back to the movies, the entertainment world.
Yes.
No, man, I absolutely loved it. Especially the end. The end was dark as shit. And I didn't quite see it coming.
Oh, good.
And I usually I can kind of pick it apart, but the turn at the end was really, really dynamite. And then there was the one part, and spoilers for anybody who hasn't watched it, which I don't know why you haven't. Come on, man, turn this off, go watch it, come back. You'll enjoy it. But so spoilers, you leave Tom there,
right?
You just
yeah.
Like I was rooting for the character the whole time, and then I'm like, this motherfucker just sealed up a body, and he's on his way to new beginnings.
You do what you got to do, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't come between me and a good house sale. Is all I'm saying. Because the bodies, that's what a house is for. Piling up bodies in your basement. That's how you roll.
Yeah, and then you're just like, oh, my woman's not nuts. Let's go try something else.
Let's go on a little vacay, shall we?
Let's see where we can go. You don't have any other relatives that you need to go visit that are loony, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we go on a tour. These serial killers. But I definitely think people like the film. It's psychological, supernatural thriller, and I think it's a little bit more in the style of the 70s supernatural thrillers that used to be out when I was a kid. James Phil and Bressick's other films are more gore oriented, and I'm not I like gore and it can be entertaining, but I'm not into torture porn. Yeah. So I wanted to make something that it could be a date night movie. It could be where both the gentleman and lady will get a good film, get a good story, like the characters, and feel like they got taken on a motivated ride, and not just people hacked and flashed. So I think that worked.
No, you know what, Zach? I completely agree. I think it's enjoyable for a lot of folks, especially because it does have a lot of nods to the older 70s style, like you were talking about. And then the ending's fantastic. So I guarantee people enjoy it. I'm pretty sure I think Jeremy wrote a pretty good review on the site, but absolutely, go check it out, and you'll definitely like it. But
sweet.
What's next? What's next for Zach? What are you up to?
What's next for Zack Ward? I'm writing a TV series right now that it's going to go into production in end of this year, beginning of next. And this is the first time I've written a series. All the other stuff I've written are films. Yeah. So this is much more work. And so I'm definitely got my learning hat on. It's cool, though. It's called Fracture. And I think that's about all I'm allowed to talk about it. I'm shooting a TV show that I'm very excited about, and I'm not allowed to talk about it at all. I signed a non-disclosure, but it's when it comes out, you'll be like, damn. So that's pretty cool. Sorry for being so vague.
No, that's it was enough hype that I believe you.
Yeah. Let's see, my older brother had his and had their first son, so that's exciting. And then my fiance actually came up with the little boy's first name, which is Lincoln. So the kid's name is Lincoln Zacharias Foster, because my older brother has a different last name than me. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm and he's from Toronto. Him and his lovely lady live in Toronto. They're in Vancouver right now, working on different stuff and seeing family while they gave birth to a little man.
Very cool.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else? Gosh, I don't know. What else is exciting? That's about it, I think. Right. That's good.
Yeah, no, that's
good. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
About what I'm
man.
doing.
You gave us a little nuggets for what's going up, so we got things to expect, things to look forward to. Like I said, man, I'm definitely a fan. I think you kill everything you're in and get killed in everything you're in. But
yeah.
But honestly, no, you're a fantastic. You're actually one of the guys that I feel like you've gotten better over time. Like a lot of the folks that started out young sort of kind of die out, where I feel like you've really hit your stride. Like you're writing, you're acting, you're producing, like you're killing it, dude.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I try to constantly get better and and challenge myself to do things. And a lot of times I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that the choice of not trying is not really an option.
Yeah.
We're all marching to the grave, and eventually we take a dirt nap, and I definitely want to be able to take half a second, look back and be like, okay. Yeah, you gave it a shot. Like
I did some shit. Awesome.
I did this thing. I did this thing this one time. Okay. I didn't pussy fart through my life, so hopefully that's the goal. And yeah, thanks for the compliment about the acting. I'm trying to get better and learn more and tell better stories as I grow up and grow older, you know?
No, you're doing good, man. And yeah,
thanks, dude.
I'm working on this August. Me and the other folks in the FYFC studio, we're working on our own film. We're gonna do a horror short this August. So, and I don't know anything about what I'm doing, so it's like just learning as I go.
Great, you're gonna do a short, huh?
Yeah. My daughter, who's only 11, she wrote this like short story that inspired me to write adapt it to a screenplay, and we're gonna see what we can do with it.
That's great. How long is it?
I think it ended up somewhere around 10 pages. It's not that long.
Good. That's much better. Do you want a little bit of advice?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, shorter is better, especially when you're doing your first thing.
Okay.
Because that way you can focus more on the quality of what's going in there as opposed to jamming through a lot of pages. Especially with a short film, you don't want to do something that's like half an hour. I've heard people like, I've got a 45-minute long short. I'm like, who's going to want to see that? And realistically, you're so close to, you're halfway to making a feature-length film. At least that way you could turn around and sell it. So don't cut your nose off. The writing process, is where you're going to save the most money, because you can rewrite, and it costs you nothing but time. So make sure your story and your dialogue and the moments and the visuals are as fantastically sexy and cool and wonderful that you want to land in there. And feel free to show it to people you don't know. That way, no one's going to have that, oh, no, it's really good response, which is useless.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need your grandma telling you how pretty you are, and she's proud that you wrote a script. You need someone who's going to say, you know what, the character so far as I've been exposed to wouldn't say this, wouldn't do that. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand this. What's going on here? I got lost in this point. Is that supposed to be funny? It's not funny. I don't get this. It's good to have somebody who isn't filtering their opinions, or if you can find somebody who actually knows their shit, you can get some really good input that'll save you a lot of time when you shoot. So that's something I would look at before running to actually put something on to shoot it, you know?
No, that sounds great. That's kind of actually what I've been doing, is like trying, because I want it to be as effective as possible within that small time frame, that I don't miss things, but I don't want to drag on. You just kind of want to hit the points as you go. So that's awesome, man. Thanks for that.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
Little tips and tricks from Zack Ward.
My pleasure, dude. My pleasure. And I look forward to seeing it when you're done.
Thanks, man. I will definitely reach out. And when you are able to talk about all these lovely things you got coming up in the future, we'd love to have you back.
Okay. Well, you've got my email, so hit me up and say howdy. You've got my phone number. This is my cell, so you can text me what's happening anytime you like.
Cool.
And so we can keep a dialogue going back and forth. That would be the easiest way, because once we're done with the Bethany interviews, then our PR guy, the lovely Clint, is not really part of the process anymore, because he does PR for a living. So, I can't be like, hey, Clint, I want to just tell people I got this cool stuff coming up. You'd be like, great, pay me, dummy.
Yeah.
So, and rightfully so. It's his business, and he's good at it. So, if you ever want to hear about other stuff and I can talk about it, just reach out to me and say howdy.
Absolutely. I will, man. Honestly, thank you so much for coming on. It's been awesome. We're total fans, and we look forward to talking again.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for supporting Bethany. Both James Cohen-Bressick and myself have a lot of heart into this. Stephanie Estes, Anna Har, who plays the little girl, Stephanie Estes, who stars in the film, Anna Har, who plays the little girl, Shannon Doherty, Tom Green, everybody put a lot of effort into this, and it's indie film, and indie film needs as much love as it can get. So I appreciate it very much.
No, absolutely. And I'm really happy that we ended up hooking up with Clint and the guys over at October Coast and all that stuff. To be able to see films like yours that are fantastic. You got to support indie film. We can't let that shit go.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck with horrible Marvel remakes of everything.
Fuck yeah. Blow shit up.
Yeah. Blow shit up and have CGI characters. No acting. It's fine.
These fleshy bastards. Get them out of here.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Zach.
All right, dude. Take care, brother. You have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's FEARCast for the week, kiddies. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun talking to Zach. We were supposed to have him on last year, and just things fell through. He ended up busy with stuff. And so it was really good to be able to connect and talk to him. Finally, dude's been in the industry a long time, so it's nice to talk to him. Obviously, really down-to-earth dude. Talking about saving some cats and shit, man. So, I don't know. Hopefully we can continue to, like you said, keep in touch, and you never know where the future will take us. I'm getting really excited for August. I can't wait to shoot the film. And leading up to it, we're going to start doing a whole bunch of stuff with like leaking the name and all the behind the scenes stuff. So pay attention to all of our social media. And I look forward to doing that. As well, this weekend, we do have the Calgary HorrorCon coming up. And that is at the Clarion Hotel, 2120 16 Avenue, Northeast Calgary, Alberta. That's June 10th and 11th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. And we will be there. FYFC will be there. Me and Razor will be representing FEARCast, talking with people. We're going to have stickers and a bunch of other stuff. So stop on by and we'll chit-chat. Maybe you can get caught in a video, or we'll do a little bit of audio blurbs. And then on the Sunday, yours truly will be doing the moderating for the panel for John Kassir, who is the Crypt Keeper. He will always be the Crypt Keeper, baby. He's done a bunch of other stuff, some video game work and all kinds of things, but to me, he is the Crypt Keeper. But don't miss that. That will be at noon on Sunday, from noon to 1. So come hang out. And then, like I said, we'll be there all weekend. So we look forward to meeting a bunch of you. And while you're waiting, haul that ass over to FYFCstudios.com. It's got links to all of our social media, as well as our YouTube channel, movie reviews, all kinds of fun podcasts like we got here with FIFCast and FEARCast, and so much more, man. We look forward to hearing from you. Reach out anytime. You can hit me up, fear at FYFCstudios.com. As well, I'm on all the social medias doing all the things. So just search FYFC Studios, and boom, you'll be talking to me. And until next week, run along, kiddies.
Hey guys, it's Fear from FYFC Studios. I really hope you're enjoying Talk Life, FEARCast, or A&Way. Plus, there's always lots of entertainment over on our website. Because I'm a cannabis advocate and often forget things, I wanted to make a little bumper to get you fine folks to head over to nftfyb.com. No fucking time for your bullshit. That's how we do. Again, that's www.nftfyb.com. Feel free to reach out on any social media. We're always looking for cool people to talk to, get somebody else's opinion on something, crazy stories you see in the news that you'd love to see us react to. Look, we'll probably never be consistent, but we'll always be entertaining. Thank you for listening one last time. nftfyb.com.